All right, thank you for keeping a date with us on the program Politics Today on independent television and radio. Our focus today on the program is the Benue insecurity crisis that has been described as a massacre. For some people, it's been described as a genocide. For some people, the visit of Mr. President has even perhaps worsened the situation because that has triggered further protests from the people. These and lots more will attract our attention today on the program Politics Today, reaching you on independent television and radio. And I'm Sonny Duke Okosi, your host on the program. In the studio with me, I'd like to thank very specially a lecturer from Nigerian University, Okada, Dr. Ohaifo Esegbe. Many thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Nigerians. Good morning, Sonny Duke.
Also with us here in the studio, Barrister Gentleman Amego, politician, grassroots politician, public affairs analyst. Thank you so much for joining us, and good to have you back.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Duke. It's been
Okay.
terrible. It's been terrible.
All right.
Thank God.
We also have with us here a former special advisor, legal advice to Edo State government, barrister at law, Adams Ali Esquire. Thank you so much for joining us on the program.
Thank you very much, moderator. Good day, viewers.
And also joining us virtually, I'd like to thank very specially former chairman of Esan Northeast Local Government Council, former deputy governorship candidate, PDP deputy governorship candidate in Edo State. I'd like to thank very specially Honorable John Ehirachoma Yakubu. Thank you for joining us on the program.
Thank you, Sonny Duke. Thank you for having me this morning. Let me greet the studio men that are very familiar. Thank you for having me on this program. Good morning, viewers.
Thank you very much, John. We hope Right Honorable Bright Omohodion, former Speaker of the State House of Assembly, will be able to join us virtually on the program today. But let's get right into the package for today. I'm wondering why the recent incident in Benue State is a major talking point globally, when in actual fact, the issue of Benue State is like a recurring decimal. I mean, we recorded just a few weeks back, over 50 people died. Maybe the way and manner this last incident took place is what is attracting attention. And then, of course, the questions about the culpability of security agents and all of that. And then there is a flip side to all of this conversation that will also be part of our discussion today. But let me get back to our panelists. Let me begin with you, Dr. Ohaifo. We're here now, but the bottom line is that the issue of insecurity in Benue State has always been reduced to farmers, herders crisis. Do you subscribe to this analogy, to this issue?
Well, to start with, that is an escapist theory that we keep propounding when they say it's a farmers herders clash. It has long gone beyond that. What is actually happening now is a strategy to grab Benue people's land and probably make it a land for the herdsmen. And the government of the Federal Republic of Nigeria have been playing key blows to the issue of the killings in Benue State. You see, you cannot say farmer herders class when you go to people in the middle of the night in their house. We are not talking about crisis on the farm now, but you go to people in their house in the middle of the night, you round them all up, you burn them alive, you kill all of them, you say this is, at the end of the day, the strategy is to chase people away from their native land. And from all indication, after they have driven these people away, go back 1 week or 2 weeks to that particular land, you discover that the herdsmen are there grazing. Now, how do you say that a group of people will have such a mind continuously to go from place to place, kill people with all energy, and nobody is arrested. So by so doing, it means that there is a calculated attempt. I don't want to go back to the Usman and Fodio issue of 1804. There's a calculated attempt to grab land. You see, the crisis is moving down to the south as we speak, and almost all the bushes are already occupied. So I don't know the reason why the federal government has found it very difficult to checkmate this issue. How can we really allow people to go into the middle of the forest and build camps there, live there, and begin to use trailers to import people from all corners of the country into? So government is complicit in this matter.
Okay.
So if they want to let us know that they are trying to create a state for the herders in Nigeria, let us know. And that is not even the issue, because the thing keeps spreading.
Okay, let me pause you there. But gentleman Omego, when this issue broke, I mean the last incident, there were concerns that Mr. President, is yet to visit these people. Eventually, Mr. President was in Benue State, and we could see Benue people lining both sides of the road, welcoming Mr. President to their state. And after that visit, we've seen what the reaction has been on social media, criticizing the fact that Mr. President visited the state but didn't visit the actual place where these killings took place. I'd like to get a reaction on that.
Well, Duke, the problem of Benue is very complex. Nobody can actually anchor what they want, what the people want there. This last visit of Mr. President didn't bring sufficient happiness to a number of people. For me, it brought sorrow. Because when I saw the number of people that were killed, it's not a herders man, it is a tribal war that is going on there. If you saw them, you will weep for this country. These are human beings on the ground. I saw them and I was saying, oh my God, what is the government of Benue doing? What is the government of federal government doing? We have so many soldiers who are parading the road. What are they doing? They can't go to Sabisa Forest. They cannot even go to Benue. Why are we having soldiers? Why are we having policemen? See, President was going, there was the bad road, they had to go back. No, there are helicopters there. We have 4 helicopters in Aso Rock. He's my man, I like him, but that was a mistake. He was supposed to go and mourn with those money. But the worst of it all was even the Benue people themselves. You are lining roads, you are clapping, you are waving handkerchiefs. Meanwhile, your parents are dying. Your brothers and sisters are dying. Are you happy to welcome somebody to come and say, oh, we are sorry? So it's a very complex situation. I don't know what those people actually want. Okay. The federal government must go there, station a battalion in that place. What are the soldiers doing for Christ's sake? They are to defend lives and property and the territorial integrity of this country. What are they doing in the streets of Benin, Lagos, Abuja, where we don't have crisis? They should be drafted there. Stay there for some time. Well, it's unfortunate that we are no Gaza and yet we are losing peoples like this. Okay. In spite of our diversity. You see, Duke, there are so many tribes in that state. What they call it, Amala Mule. This is my own or my own. That's the problem of Benue. Tribe 1, tribe 2, tribe 3. And then, of course, like my doctor said, they are fighting over land. That means they have small land. Okay. They are fighting over land. Duke, the solution is for us to wake up and save our brothers. They are Nigerians. We love them. We should all go and help them.
Okay. So Adam Saliu, I have no doubt in my mind that you've been following this issue for a long time. Why is this particular incident, why has it attracted more attention than all that has been happening? I mean, as far as I can remember, in Benue State, what is so special about this incident?
Well, you know that taking it from the constitutional point of view, Section 14, subsection 2, subsection B of the National Constitution provides that security and welfare of the people of Nigeria should be the primary purpose of government. So here we are. Is there security? Is there welfare? The last week incidents, specifically July 14, Saturday,
June 14, 2025 on Saturday, when about 200 people were killed in Benue, Guma local government area. It's drawing attention because the magnitude was enormous at the time. It's like a massacre, genocide, to obliterate all the inhabitants of that area. So I was very sad when I left office last week, Saturday. But last Wednesday, about 4 days ago, the president went there. He did not go to the locus inco, the scene of incident, but he visited, commiserated, then he delegated the secretary to government of the federation to coordinate the activities of chief of defense staff. When you talk of defense, you mean Army, Navy, and Air Force, as well as the Inspector General of Police, coordinate the activities and let them start marching to curb this excessive genocide in Benue. It has never been as bad. The committee is to set up, and I think they should incorporate the traditional rulers. Because traditional rulers in native time, they own the land. The third chief of Boko is the traditional ruler of Boko. It's a big tribe in Benue. Should be involved. The Ochidoma of Idoma, the traditional ruler in Benue, should be involved. All others, Demi, Kwasi, traditional rulers should be incorporated. Ex-politicians, present politicians, governors, senators, they should come out because this Benue massacre should not be allowed to be duplicated or replicated elsewhere. I will equally look at the federal government's approach because this is a national issue, even though it happened in a local milieu. It should not only be tackled by the Nigerian security system. We should expatiate it and let there be local policemen, local government police. In the 50s, 60s, 70s, there used to be local government police. America has local government police. UK has metropolitan police states. So these are people who know the land, who know the hideout, who know them. Because if they hide in the forest, it is strange to get a northern policeman who is in the of Maiduguri and who as a police to come and find his way. So when we use local state police, it's very, very good.
Thank you very much, Sir Adams Aliyu. Let's quickly link up with John Yakubu, who is joining us virtually from Urumi in Edo Central. John, many thanks again for joining us, and happy birthday to you, by the way. Share with us what your thoughts are on this raging war, so to speak, the genocidal activities of headers against the native Benue people, which has been going on for such a long time. And then give us your thought as well on the level of response by the federal government using the platforms of the armed forces, as it were.
Oh, well, Sonny, let me first of all thank you for having me in this your program. You hear me very clearly. What I will say first, I know you will not like it. The first thing is that we've been, the traditional media has disappointed Nigerians. They are not there. I really don't know the word to use, whether to say they've been bought over or they have compromised completely. Thank God to social media that brought what happened in Benue. They brought it to the attention of the world. If not for the social media, probably led by our brother, the very dark man, who went to Benue shouting, I'm sure by today nobody would have been talking about the massacre in Benue. We've been failed completely by the traditional media where you are. Sorry about that. I know you will not be happy about that, but that is the situation. Come to the issue of the federal government coming to Benue. I'm happy that my leader, gentleman Ambeko, is there, and he did say that he was not happy with the president for the way and manner he came to Benue. I tell you this. The federal government is rather than commiserate with the people of Benue, they are playing politics with it. What could be worse than that? That even the person who is supposed to govern the state is dancing on the blood of the people of Benue State. How do you comprehend that? That at this point in time of our political history in Nigeria, governors are now sycophants. Governors are now the chief sycophants in the administration of their state. And it is unfortunate that it took the federal government about 4 or 5 days after the Pope, who is about a million miles away from Benue, has spoken on the issue to visit. Not only did they just come there to play politics, rather the governor forced his APC members to line the street. I heard my leader saying he was not happy people waving flags. You are aware of why they started waving flags. They've been mobilized, they've been paid, they've been asked to come there, to come and play politics of 2027 rather than commiserate with the people of Benue. For that apart, in all honesty and sincerity, if we must continue as a nation in Nigeria, we must tell ourselves the truth. Otom was pushed out of Benue State because of this war. He saw it coming. Laws were made to prevent this act happening in Benue State. But what did they do to him? He was forced out, or not now, he has spent his time, but his government was forced out because they wanted somebody who could dance to their music. That's exactly what we're saying. And listen to Barrister saying, we're not looking at herders, farmers clashes. It is about ethnic cleansing. Ethnic cleansing. How do you massacre 200 people on the night? And the only thing the president could do was to call a town hall meeting, line up and flag being waved rather than mourning with the people. The Bible said, be happy with those who are happy and mourn with those who are mourning. I want to appeal to federal government. This is not the time, this is not the issue to play politics with. You saw people carrying placards that day when Mr. President was available in Benue. What were they talking about? 2027, Your Excellency and the President Governor is good to go. I mean, we ought to sit down and ask ourselves, do we actually want this nation? Do we actually want to continue as a nation called Nigeria? Do we know what we are doing? Or we are just doing what we are doing because the money available for the entire nation is being siphoned for a few persons to begin to enslave others? I want to appeal to Benue people. In short, they are the chief culprit on this matter. How do you stay in your town and in your village? You are now being pushed away from it. And I want to call on the Northerners. I'm using this opportunity to call on the Northerners. Do you have two nations? When the issue of 14 happened in my town, you saw every person in the North, every person, including the emirs, including the senators, including the governors of the United States of the Northern State, they came out, 14 people in Uromi, you will pay dearly for it. Are you saying that the Benue people are inferior to some other persons in the North? I mean, it is sad. And we continue to say, we have to come out to redefine this nation. 200 in Benue, we didn't hear a voice from the North kicking against it. But 14 in Uromi, which was a mistake because the people thought that they were kidnappers. What did you see? Even the governor of Edo State had to move from Edo State to Kano to go and commiserate with the people of Kano State over the incident. For that to happen in Benue State, very dark man had to come out, the Pope had to come, the social media had to be agog. But the traditional media, Sonny, what is the problem? Are you people scared of doing your job? Honestly, tell us. If you are scared of doing your job, let the nation know so that we'll not know where to turn to.
Okay, that's a very beautiful question you just asked. But interestingly, it is you are on the traditional media expressing yourselves, articulating your views and opinions for policymakers to take action. The traditional media can never be afraid. In any case, the traditional media helps to galvanize and amplify whatever you see on the social media. The traditional media will continue to be relevant in the scheme of things, whether anybody likes it or not. If the traditional media is scared, we will not have these conversations. I mean, if you sample the views of our panelists here, including yourself, it's all against the federal government. That shows that the traditional media is bold, is courageous, is ready to take on any issue just to ensure that there is equity, there is fairness, there is justice. On this case of Benue State, what are we talking about? We're talking about justice for the people of Benue State. We'll take a short break now on the program Politics Today on Independent Television and Radio. We'll be back with you in just a moment. Don't go away. Thanks again for rejoining us on the program Politics Today on independent television and radio. Our focus today on the program is the burgeoning issue of Benue genocide, massacre, whatever adjective you want to use to qualify. You will be absolutely correct. And we're calling for justice for Benue people. We're asking the federal government to do something to address this issue. Now, I've heard the governor of Benue State, Hyacinth, earlier saying that they know the people who are behind this activity. So if they know these people, why is it difficult to checkmate this? And then some time ago, there was a certain notorious bandit who was running rampage in Benue State known as Tewese Ghana. The video trending in recent time when all of this issue came up. And he was of the opinion, not opinion, he told the world that certain individuals who are sponsoring all of this crisis are buying states. That at the time they were negotiating with him to pay him 350 million naira to buy Benue State so he can inflict harm, terrorist activities and what have you on Benue State. So which means across the federation, these activities that you're seeing in the shades and modes of terrorist headsmen, terrorist bandits and what have you, this is the underlying factor. Could you take it off from there?
Yes, I think that is why somebody like Fela will come to mind when he said, "What things unite for a United Nation." Now, all these facts are there for all Nigerians to see, and all Nigerians have been seeing this. How can a government, for example, this kind of issue started with Goodluck Jonathan, when he said that he know that some Boko Haram members are in his cabinet. Then that era went. Then came Buhari, who told Nigerians that government, through Lai Mohammed, told Nigerians that they have a list of those sponsoring terrorism in Nigeria. Up to today, that list is never made known. Then the state governor of Benue State again now is telling us that he knows those people. And no name is mentioned. It therefore means that if actually we have United Nations, they are actually what they ought to be. These people ought to have been invited since Goodluck Jonathan, Muhammadu Buhari, and all these people who know this one don't want to release the list. They ought to have been invited to Hague or to ICC, wherever. So the issue is that even the military have questions to answer. In every state, we have how do they call it, battalion. For example, in Benin, we have 4 mechanized brigade. That's how we have them all around. What are they doing?
Gaskia.
What are they doing? They wear rank. All the rank, they are here. And the ordinary within the country, you cannot quell it and you are wearing rank. If the commander-in-chief is actually commander-in-chief, you're supposed to retire these people. Retire them. If it's a captain that can lead the squad to quell this thing, let the captain be the GOC. That is how military is supposed to operate. Military is not supposed to be like a civilian. This is where you come and say, let's come and vote, or let us come and do this thing. So the military people, they are corporate here because in Benue State, that's where we have the highest Air Force base. What are they doing? They say they have commissioner of police there. What is he doing? But now these people are supposed to have resigned, or you fire them. The president, even the president is supposed to resign as well. Look at how Americans are running their country. Look at our country. Look at Israel. Look at all of Iran. Look at the way they are running their country. These ones that are just doing tea party. So going forward, we know that there are people, those kingpins that they refuse to ever mention. They refuse to ever mention there. And tomorrow they will still kill people. And they continue. At the time, an association was taking responsibility. Mayeti Allah. The last time during the Buhari era, when they were killing, massive killing. Mayeti Allah. An organization came out to take responsibility. Because when they were leaving Benue State, they discovered that some of their cows were missing. That was why they came back and unleashed the mayor. Till tomorrow, nobody was arrested, nobody or anything. But if it's in the south here, in fact, the truth of the matter is that it is time for communities to start forming community army. We all have, before the advent of the Europeans to colonize Africa and bisect Africa, we had empires, solid ones, communities, solid communities, armies, that we defend the community. We were waiting we are talking about the president said that he cannot go to that town where this mayhem was carried out. There are no roads, this, that. But people, human beings are living there. So it therefore means that there's not going to be a police station in that community. So what are we living for? So the community is time for you to start forming community army.
Okay.
We have blacksmiths in our community. Let us encourage them to produce whatever we can use to defend ourselves.
Okay, we'll get into that point exactly.
Yes.
But let's get Barrister Bego to talk about the governor's stance on this matter. Is this just mere politics?
I think it is politics. Unfortunately, they are taking the lives of human beings. We are told, I don't know how far it is true, that the Secretary to Federal Government and the governor are daggers drawn. We don't know what they are fighting for. We don't know where they are. So, but that is why, it's not a shame by Secretary to Federal Government. He's there sitting in an air-conditioned room, and his own state is burning. And the governor too is sitting in an air-conditioned room, and his state is burning. And everybody is quiet. Even if you cannot get support from federal government, do something as governor. You can't just allow our people to be killed like that. They are Nigerians. Those of us who are far away from them are crying on their behalf. And yet those that are there are fighting for, what are they fighting for? Sending to government and government. What are they fighting for?
Supremacy battle.
Supremacy. Who gets that? Who gets that? But at the risk of human beings going down the drain, you see, it's a very sad situation of Duke. Very, very sad. It's not something we should laugh about. Because it's Benue today, tomorrow can be somewhere. Right now in Edo State, they are everywhere. They are everywhere. Like he said, they go to our forest, create camps there. And then the night they come to the road, get our people, and then go back to their camp. How can we continue like this? How did we get here anyway? I grew up with the independence of this country, where we have been very loyal to the government, loyal to ourselves. But I always wonder now, when did we get to where we are now? What is responsible? We don't know.
Okay.
Abacha's wife says, our money they kept for Nigeria is there. Like he said, who kept the money? Where is the money? Nobody is saying anything about it. That's just by the way.
Yeah.
So I'm just telling you that certain things happen in this country, nobody will take action. But down below, like you, like some of us, we will be saying, oh, this ought to have been done, that ought to. There are so many advisors, there are so many ministers, nobody is taking concrete action to stop this madness in Benue.
Okay. So Adam Saliu, share your thought with us along those lines. I mean, with the stance of the, yes.
It is a matter for national concern, the Benue massacre. I will express the Arewa Forum, that is in Benue, the Ohanese Indigbos, that is in Benue, the Afenifere, major tribes, to join the federal government in putting an end to this senseless massacre. In fact, the people that were displaced, they are now in IDP camp in Makurdi. A man lost his wife and 4 children.
Yes.
He is even complaining that government gave them, setting to government of federation, gave them 2 million for their rehabilitation. And the money had been diverted somewhere. It didn't get to them. That the IDP camp, where they are all gathered in Benue, they are from different villages, local government, but they are quartered in Makurdi. That they are poorly fed, so the welfare is not even there, and the rehabilitation amount is missing somewhere. So we should take it as a national emergency and national concern, so that all facets of the community, apart from the Benue indigenous, tribes, federal government, the forces, defense, army, navy, air force, police, they should swing into action. We were able to fight a civil war, 1967 to 1970. This is a small part of Nigeria. We should not allow anarchy and lawlessness, insecurity of life to prevail, because the paramount aim of government is to secure life and welfare.
All right, so let's link up with John Yakubu one more time. John, thanks again for the views that you shared on this program this lovely Saturday morning. The concern has actually been on the stance of the governor of the state, who has come out at different times to say, you know, those coming to carry out these activities, they are foreigners. So that's perhaps lent credence to the fact that they are known. So what action is he taking to address it is what we don't seem to know. And what is your key recommendation now we are here? Because this is a recurring decimal, like I said before. We heard this one where over 200 people were killed. If it's just about killing them, maybe it wouldn't have attracted much attention. But that they were actually set ablaze, you know, burnt in their houses. We saw charred bodies, skeletons, bones, and what have you, in several of the houses or, you know, apartments in the communities where these marauders attacked these residents. Let's get your take.
Well, thank you, Sonny. For this program, I'll keep coming back to my leader, gentleman amigo, because they said conscience is an open wound. Only the truth can heal it, and he keeps speaking truth to power anywhere he is, including his contribution this morning to the fact that what is happening in Benue is political. In all honesty, I think the governor should stop speaking. If we were serious as a nation and serious as a people, the only thing we at least hear from the governor now is that a state of emergency has been declared. God, the governor of Benue State is not in any way ready to govern the people. Rather, his aim is politics, and he showed it completely. And he's doing it, and he's fighting a political battle for his own political survival. So it is not about the people. If he's saying, oh, we know those who are behind them, he's just talking because he wants people to hear him talk. That is the truth. He was never ready to govern Benue. He's still not ready, but his point, his problem, his challenge is 2027. Like my leader said, the gentleman amigo, the issue that is bringing Benue down today is the issue of supremacy between him and his godfather, located in Asoro. I think the president should please. We elected him, they elected him, we elected him to govern over Nigeria, to provide security for our people so that we can have a life to live. It should look by now beyond politics. And I tell you, until we expunge, I want to repeat, until we expunge politics from what is happening in Benue, any plan, any suggestion, any arrangement by any person to put forward how Benue can be saved will not work. You started talking about military, somebody talking about formation. The soldiers cannot just go to the bush to begin to fight unless they are directed by the chief of army staff. I don't know who it should be, but by the person in charge. The police on their own are employed to be involved with civil arrest and all that. And they are being led by somebody. If the governor, I tell you this, I want to say it clearly, the mood of the governor is so that the people, the security people are not even motivated to want to fight, because the governor is not ready to protect these people. And it's an unfortunate thing that this is the time we have a reverend father sitting as the governor of a state, who is supposed to have the entire Benue state is supposed to be his flock, whether they are Muslims, whether they are Christians, because of his calling. But what do we have? I want to appeal to the federal government. I'm not that person to appeal to, not even the state government. I want to appeal to federal government. They should have please save the soul of Benue people. Somebody said there just now that they have infiltrated all part of the nation, but that is true. I said just now at the beginning of this program, when it happened in the north, even when the Niger something happened recently, did you hear them speak? Benue is happy, did you hear them speak? Nasarawa speaking. Among themselves, there is a satanic agreement, a diabolical understanding among them about what they are doing to themselves in the north by the 19 northern state people. Somebody mentioned in the studio just Arewa. Did you hear Arewa speak? Few days after, did you hear Arewa visit Benue? If not for very dark man, who left Abuja to Benue to begin to show to the world what is the carnage that happened in Benue. I want to appeal to whoever he is. Cannot appeal to the governor because it's not ready, but let us use opportunity to appeal to our president Tinubu, to please save the soul of Nigerians, particularly now in Benue, and let us wait for 2027. God will preserve some of our lives to get to 2027, and the election will take place. Nobody is aware, not even you, except Heavenly Father, that know who will live to be part of 2027. This is the only time, Mr. Oni. We've experienced politics now for about 25 years. This is the only time, 2 years into a political activity of a government, we are talking of another election. Look back to history. Is it the time of Obasanjo? Is it the time of Goodluck Jonathan or Yar'Adua? No. This is even Buhari himself did not talk of election until it was closed. But here we are in Nigeria now. Governors are psychopaths, followers are psychopaths, ministers are psychopaths, all singing praises to the president in an attempt to keep their bread. The bread is there, they've stolen it. But allow us to live. Please allow Nigerians to live. Why you steal our common patrimony? Thank you.
John, we hope to have all the time to come back to you in just a moment. If it's just join us, it's still Politics Today on Independent Television. When we return, we'll be talking about the solution. Just this morning in the news, Kogi State Governor Ododo is saying that the banditry and terrorist activity is spilling over to Kogi State. In Enugu State this morning, there is a report that 4 people have been reportedly killed by herders. And that is the story all across the country.
Yes.
Recently, there was an engagement between the IGP and, of course, the National Assembly on the issue of state police. The IGP was of the opinion that Nigeria is not ripe for state police. But we know that as the country is today, the police cannot effectively police the length and breadth of the country. So what option is there? Your guess is as good as mine. Why are those in charge not willing to take the bull by the horn and let us have state police? Let's see if we experiment it. Let's see how far it can go. We'll be talking along these lines when we return after this break on the program. Don't go away. Of course, our studio line is 08077770300. You can dial that number and be part of the conversation today. Justice for Benue people, justice for Yalaweta and other communities that have been ravished by bandits, by terrorists, by violent headers, whatever name that they are called. And we must continue to advocate for that, because an injury to one is indeed an injury to all. If it can happen in Benue, it can happen anywhere and everywhere. Of course, it's already happening anywhere and everywhere in Nigeria if you follow the trends in recent times. 1 minute's solution dealing with this issue.
Yes, the major solution is for the federal government to live up to its responsibility for the protection of life and property and welfare for the people. But security, first of all, is above welfare. Because if we are saying that's what we'll be talking about, we're going to eat food or this thing. First of all, and if you cannot be able to do that, it's as good as you resign. The National Assembly should also, well, I don't want to talk about that because those ones are more like a rubber stamp. So on the other hand, I don't want to believe that the Commissioner of Police cannot move when people are being killed. You must wait for president to direct you. Why are you in the state there? The commandant or the GOC of the military formation, wherever they are, they don't need to wait for somebody to tell them. As far as destruction is going on, that is why are they positioned there? So if that fails, now, for example, the governors will tell us in their hypocritical manner that they don't have power over police, army, and what have you. But if they want to exercise some political functions or they want to grab land from some community, they will have a special interest. They'll be able to mobilize all the military formations to be on ground. So if that fails, survival is the first instinct of man. So you cannot wait for federal government to save you and they are not saving you, state government to save you, they are not saving you, local government to save you, they are not saving you, then you allow yourself to be roasted. The issue is that there's no one who has the monopoly to violence. So those communities that have been portrayed as helpless, in fact, almost all of us are helpless. We should start going back to our traditional forms before the pre-colonial era. We have several instances how we defended ourselves. So let us not take it for granted.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We have our first caller. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Good morning. You're live on Politics Today. What's your name and where are you calling from? We lost that call. Mr. Mego, we're talking about solution, lasting solution, because this is more or less like a national challenge, national security challenge.
Yeah. Well, the army has failed us. The police has failed us. I think what should resort to now is vigilante. When we had them here before, crimes reduced drastically. Opabolo is doing the same thing right now. He's putting them together. Because what is happening in Benue is not a time to put up your thumbs up, to smile, to laugh. It was a period of mourning, reflecting on what the Benue people are going through. In 1979, it was also a Reverend Father. There was so much crisis there at that time. Now a Reverend Father, we're having crisis. So perhaps Benue people should be told that they should look for a pragmatic governor who will govern them effectively.
Okay.
But the solutions are
summarily,
because our forests are very vulnerable. The solution is to get vigilante well equipped because they know their lands. They are from that community. They can guide us day and night.
Okay. All right. So we have our next caller. Please turn down the audio level on your TV or radio. Let us, yes, your name and where you're calling from. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Good morning. Go ahead.
It's very unfortunate. There's no reason whatsoever the president did would be justified. Not because it is very strange of the incident. For 200 people massacred. If you do, it is fine. Mr. Lord, there are some people who voted for you. We are not in trouble for farmers. 2 years to come in. Nobody knows who will be alive. They don't keep us alive.
Okay.
And again, for the governor, they will arrest father to behave in that manner. It's not good. It's supposed to put on short meters black. Then the children put on black. It's a money period. It's a money time. It has to be more. Because the chance to be laughing down. It's very unfortunate. A certain father will be politics to the state. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you. 08077770300. That's our studio number. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning.
Yes, good morning. What's your name?
It's a child.
Okay. Apparently, that sound. I mean, it sounds like a child. Yeah. Well, let's get this caller on board. Hello, caller. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
Good morning, Mr. Bonju.
Good morning. Please go ahead. What's your name and where are you calling from? Go ahead.
I think we should stop pretending in this country. What is happening in Benue and other Christian majority areas of North Central and even contiguous South East is a case of ethnic cleansing of the indigenous peoples of their ancestral land and hopeful as jihad. I believe strongly that the agenda was better by Buhari by human liberation that he took and proposed to Supreme Court. But I didn't want to go off to his camps. Fulani jihadi from Sahel to Nigeria ahead of the election, which Jonathan is up. And today we are completely prepared for that family act. It's a safe plan, but we by now should start with the case for what we committed to the action we committed against Nigeria. What that means is that the places of law are considered in relation to what we call background. And the case of taking that will water down to the south. Remember the infamous liberation that the Quran in the Atlantic Ocean. That's the idea that we need to be sure that it's a complete mess that we are in. It's a very pitiable situation. I cry for my country. Thank you.
All right, thank you for your call. 08077770300. Good morning, caller. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm calling earlier from Roma to Dubai.
Okay, go ahead. What's your name?
My name is Richard.
All right, Richard, go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Yes, it's a very big pity. I said in Benue State. I did my NYC 13 years back in Benue State. And I was telling the truth. If it was a very objective, the leaders of that environment are very much aware. They are the people responsible your children should be asked questions, should be questioned.
Okay.
They are aware of all these things. They know it. They are the one who collect money. They are the one who prevent their people from attacking. And moreover, let me ask you, sir, what happened in River State that the president declared an emergency? And now we have killings over there in Benue State, and there's no sort of emergency. See, sir, I think the other man spoke. He said, until we stop playing politics with our problem in Nigeria, we will not get anywhere. It's a disappointment because that man who was the grandfather has gambled the life of the people. Please, sir, let the people just go out to defend themselves because security officers will not, the police, the army will not do it until they take the orders from their superior. Thank you very much, and God bless you.
Thank you very much. Ambassador Saliu, give us your final take on finding lasting solution to this monster of a problem.
Well, the situation in Benue is a bit peculiar because we have a man of God at the helm of the political affairs. In African continent, it was common in South Africa. Archbishop Desmond Tutu,
That's right.
Bishop Abraham Muzorewa, Ndabanegi Toli, these were religious people, and they were able to manage South Africa to independence. The case in Benue is like a risorgimento. It's a political river. Father Moses Adasu was there 79, and they know the commandment of God, which says that thou shalt not kill. So if people are killing them, and the Constitution of Nigeria directs the government to secure lives and property, I think the masses that voted for the referendum, they should come out to defend themselves. As I said, Arewa, Forum, Afenifere, they are all there, and Ohanese. So let them join forces together. And the advanced form of vigilante is the local police. Let them come into force and prevent these headers. They are armed on taking lives.
All right, caller, good morning. You're live on the program Politics Today. What's your name?
Yeah, good morning. This is Kindness. How you?
Kindness, please go ahead.
Yeah, quickly, we must speak truth to power. We must speak for ourselves. The incident that happened is going to our security agency. They know what to do. Because according to investigation and reports that was done, those people came in and they spent hours, even attacked the police station first. Do you want to tell me that those police did not come for backup? So if really they come for backup, people are necessary to be able to get some of those perpetrators. But up till now, no arrest has been made. And somebody came at what few days back to play but no arrest has been made till now. So if they want to break our leaders, they know what to do. They should push out those funds to the people. So make it for the devil. So make it for the devil. The money is huge. These people cannot afford it. They have sponsors. So those sponsors should be shot.
Excuse me.
Security all over the place. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's quickly link up with John Yakubu to get a final take from you on finding a lasting solution to this monstrous, dimension of the killings in Benue State and other parts of the country.
Well, thank you. I strongly believe, in all honesty, that self-defense should be applied now. Please defend your town, defend your village, defend your farmland. Let the elders and leaders come together. Like my man said there, before the advent of the white man rule, we had a way of ruling ourselves. Let's go back to that communal life of coming together to defend what we have as a people. Because from what we have now, if we wait for either the federal or the state government to defend us before the arrival of these marauders, it's going to be too late. I tell you, please self-defense. What I mean, I'm not saying you should go and begin to kill people or massacre people, but search your bushes, search around you. Look for foreigners who are not supposed to be the inhabitants of those forests. They were not given. Look for them. They should be asked to leave so that those places, those villages, those farmland can be saved. If we wait for government, in all honesty, I think we'll just be failing in our duty to save our land. Self-defense, I think, is the best option as of today. Save yourself, defend your family, and defend your environment.
Good morning. What's your name? Okay. Where are you calling us from? Yes, yes. Go ahead, please.
Our federal government, they know what to do. Hello?
Yes, go ahead. We're listening to you.
They know what to do. If they go and meet our country, you should want it. You should want other people. Other people should stay on their own. Or else we want them. Then, without our northern there that will wear, all the will stop. Why are we just of Africa? Why? How? Why? They don't want to do that, sir.
Okay.
They don't want to do that. God, I think that they all the people that that time. They don't say we don't need them anymore. We don't need all the Fulani. Don't need them. That's what I would tell them.
Okay, thank you, Kola, for your contribution. We'll take just one last call. Hello, Kola. Good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from? Yes, what's your name? Yeah.
This is USA on the line.
Oh, USA, good to have you on the show. Go ahead, please.
Yes, my brother, it's not an irony. And I repeat, it's not an irony. Civilized and intelligent people can tolerate what we are seeing today in our country. Brother, believe it or not, the best of all is gone as a people. We are all pretenders. In a nation where our brothers and sisters are being slaughtered, we go about our normal duties as if nothing happened. That is an evidence that we are not intelligent at all. Look at our ancestors. Nobody ever committed this serious crime. Actually, the way we see it, it never happened. Go and check the history is there. If the government is serious, if Nigerians are also serious, it's a very simple thing. When the government is not doing what it should, what happens? Civilized people come out in a civil manner. They aren't going anywhere. Or the down we know is done and then submit to our fatherland.
Okay, thank you, USA. That's the much time will permit us on the program. I want to say big thanks to all our panelists. John Yakubu joined us from Burundi. Thank you very much. Sir Adam Saliu, thank you so much for coming. Bryce, gentleman, I always like to have you here. And of course, Dr. Isegbe Okaifo, thank you again for coming to the program. To all our listeners and viewers, we appreciate you for your time with us on the program today. Do have a great weekend. We're calling for justice for Yelawata people and the people of Benue State who are being slaughtered on a daily basis. The federal government must wake up. The armed forces must wake up and go about their responsibility. Have a great weekend.